Boyfriend 22M of 1 year broke up with me 21F over a letter. I am completely heartbroken. My now ex sent me a letter where he was breaking up with me. I am completely heartbroken and shocked. He had called me literally 6 hours ago today when I got out of work and was telling me he loved me and I was special and how he couldn't be single because he loved me. We just celebrated our 1 year in May. The letter was postmarked June 3rd. He says I'm his best friend and he's still in love with me, but he need to work on himself. He said he could never stop talking to me because he will always care about me and love me, but I feel so heartbroken right now that I don't know how I could talk to him while knowing he's been faking his affection to me for weeks. I have a huge exam today. It's 5:30 a.m. here and I haven't slept a bit. I don't know what to do at all. I'm completely lost. Undefined. Giving more info because I see a lot of people asking. Yes. I confirmed the letter is from him. I asked him if he had sent me a letter and he said yes. The envelope also had his handwriting. Which I know. Edit 2. The letter was sent by mail. Ironically, I always said how I wanted him to send me a letter by mail because I thought it was romantic, and this was the first time he ever did that. Because it was sent by mail. I don't believe he did it on purpose with screwing with my exam. I think it just happened to arrive that day. He did try to message me this morning and tried acting normal. By that I mean, he was sending me pictures of him cuddling with his cat. Like he usually would. I left him on scene. He called you today with love and adoring talks. Yet he wrote that letter days ago. He is inconsistent at best and manipulative at most. There is a thing called educational abuse. The abuser breaks up or causes emotional distress to their partner just before a big exam or school project. This causes the victim to be lost in a spiral or dealing with drama instead of their studies. He did you a favor. Focus on your exam and deal with this later. He is playing games with you. Let him win. This is good advice. Don't let him throw you off. I hope your exam goes well for you. Compartmentalize now and put this behind you. It's an after-exam issue. You might want to email your tutor/professor/academic register however it works at your university about extenuating circumstances, and that'll be taken into account. Next. Do your exam and relax. He's done this deliberately before your exam. That makes him a speepty person. He knew you were at an important junction and decided to be as speepty as possible. He probably wasn't the person you thought he was, and in the long run this is probably good for you. The whole letter reads like utter tripe. It's platitudes and BS that he's using to justify crappy behavior. Regardless, it's all an after-exam issue. Apply for mitigating circumstances to shore up your grade and focus on this after. Thank you for pointing out the timing. I thought the same thing. He just had to do it before a big event in Op's life. The part about Op being a best friend he wants to still talk to feels like he wants Op on a string that he can pull whenever he is bored/lonely/feeling insecure. The timing seems intentional. Right? Otherwise, why wouldn't he have been more distant leading up to the letter? Honestly, I would cut him off. It's really insensitive to send this to you around the time of a big exam. Immature on his part. For sure. I wish you the best of luck on your exam, and I hope for your sake you delete him from your life. BC, he sounds like he wants to have his cake and eat it too. Have you in his life but not as his GF. But babe, you're not his emotional support puppy and you owe him nothing. Focus on your exam. I know that's not easy, but try not to let this letter affect your education. Try to put your thoughts and emotions to one side for the duration of your exam. I'm sorry you've experienced this. Do you want to talk to your ex to get some closure? You don't need to be in touch if you don't want to. In fact, my personal opinion is that once you've acknowledged the reasons, if you want to, and start moving on, it's best to not talk to them or see them on social media. So even though he says he could never stop talking to you, you may want to in order to work on yourself and move past this. Sending lots of positive vibes your way. Good luck in your exam. Absolutely. Relish in this fact. That you can just cut ties and move on. It is much more mentally healthy to do this. Focus on your exam. Ace that speep. Then block him on everything. This is a coward-ass fool. You can AMD will meet a better man. It's not like he didn't know you had finals. This was some bullspeep. I second this. Remove him from your life. My ex did something similar. Just so happened I had started a new job 2 weeks earlier. You deserve and will find better? I agree with the advice to focus on your exam. I know it hurts. Op. And I'm sorry. It was a dick move for your BF to do this over a letter rather than talking to you. Girl, he did you a favor. Trash took itself out. Letter he sent me. Girl, it's not even handwritten. He always said he hated his handwriting. I'm so confused because he had literally just given me a handwritten letter 2 weeks ago saying how much he loved me and how I made him a better person. Can it be a fake? Did you ask him if this letter is from him? Yes, and he confirmed it. He's unimportant RN. Future, you can deal with it. Present, you has to take an exam. There's 24 hours in a day. All you need is a few out of the 24 to complete the exam, and then the rest of can be dedicated to other things. Toss it away. Push it aside. It never happened. It's a dream. Forget about it right now. Your exam is one priority in this very moment. Just need a couple hours out of 24 to focus. You can do this. Good luck on exam, BB. Jenny. Zachary is, to put it lightly, a steaming pile of speep. Lamau, sorry you didn't really do a great job of hiding the names. Let's break this down. He lied to you. Not even by assuring you that everything was okay, as if you had asked out of fear that something wasn't right with him. He went out of his way to tell you how much he loved you. How he wanted to spend the rest of his life with you. And how he couldn't imagine his life without you in it, despite having already written this letter to you breaking up with you. In doing so, he knew how much more of a surprise this letter would come as. How much more it would hurt you. And how much more it would shock and blindside you, but he didn't give a flying peep. Instead of coming to you right away when he started feeling unhappy in your relationship, he hid this from you for months. According to him. Yeah. Relationships aren't always smooth sailing and sunshine and rainbows all the time, but you know what all people who are able to sustain long-term, healthy, open and honest relationships have in common? The ability to communicate. The minute he figured out that he was missing something in this relationship, or that something about it was making him unhappy, he should have communicated that with you so you could get the root of the problem together and make the appropriate changes and try to work together to fix things. Instead, he just kept it to himself for months, praying it would go away like a coward. And by the time he was actually ready to be honest with you, things were already beyond the point of repair. He sent you this speep hours before your exam. I mean, unless he sent it in the mail and didn't know when it would reach you. I guess that's a different story. But I'm guessing he deliberately made sure this got to you right before an important life event, knowing full well it would peep you up and probably impact your performance on your exam. BTW, don't let it. This cowardly little boy is completely and utterly dispensable. And he does not deserve another second of your time. Never mind to have power and influence over your educational performance. He mentioned cheating as a possible outcome of staying with you, while simultaneously claiming he loved you in the same letter. I'm sorry, but I don't give a peep what the circumstances are. Unless someone has a gun up to your head, you never cheat on someone you love. And if you do cheat on them, you never loved them. Simple as that. Notice how this entire thing is him trying to make it about how he's doing this for you? He's not. He's doing it for him. The contents and the timing of this letter are proof of that. If you really squint your eyes, it's actually pretty easy to see through his little valiant white knight bullspeep about him doing this out of love for you. And you'll notice that it's actually just all a thinly veiled woe is me temper tantrum. You're better off in the long run without this guy. Trust me. Doesn't mean you have to out the name to everyone who didn't zoom in. Yo. If the dude can mislead you for a few weeks until you got that letter, I would say he has huge problem. You have to ask yourself, what else is he gonna fake? Are you really ever gonna be able to trust him after lying to you like that? Both my ex-husband and my BF did the same thing. I really cannot trust anyone anymore after all of that. I say put some distance between you and this guy fast. Don't let him ruin your exam or your schooling. It seems like the end of the world now, but I promise you it isn't. What a tool. He couldn't even wait for your exam to be over. TBH, it sounds like he is trying to create chaos and confusion on purpose. You don't need that energy in your life. Cut contact. He will keep trying to weasel into your brain and throw you for a loop, never giving you a real or consistent answer. If you give him more of your time and emotions, he will play with them. Just say goodbye. Grieve the relationship. And give yourself some peace. Boy, bye. Focus on your exam. The selfish peep could have waited till after your exam to unburden himself. After that, ghost this piece of speep. Good luck. What if peeping coward? Bro, he sent a letter in the mail. I thought you were going to say he gave it to you in person. He seriously put the letter in the mailbox and pretended everything was normal after that. Usually when people are trying to break up, they start to distance themselves and act differently. He intentionally gave you affection and said he loved you even though he knew it was awful of him. It's easier to say nothing at all than to say I love you unprompted and without meaning it. But he took the extra effort to call you saying this and that he could never be single. What a psycho. He's a coward doing this by letter while lying to you saying he loves you at the same time. What a jerk. You're better off without someone who disrespects you like that. Good luck. Especially when using snail mail. Like, the letter could come 3 days ago or a week from now, so he just pretends everything is fine until one day the letter comes. At least drop it on her doorstep or something so you know when she reads it. Such an odd and heartless method of communication. It sucks that he did this right before your exam. I'd suggest focusing on the exam for now. You don't have to talk to him now or ever again if you prefer. I personally think it's healthy to have a period of not contacting the other person after the end of a relationship, typically a few months. If this is what you'd like, just let him know and hopefully he'll respect that so you don't have to block him. That sucks op. As an aside, I really hate the work on myself excuse whenever someone gives it. It doesn't mean anything tangible. I had an ex who wrote something similar to me at the time. It was all I know about and it consumed me. Now, 3 years later, I have a great BF and can clearly see how toxic that is. And am very thankful to not have them in my life. Things will get better. But it may be a bit rough for now. What a coward. Have some self-respect and ghost his ass. He'll undoubtedly come back crawling at some point, but you don't need this weak lying person close to you. You are young, and as much as this sucks, you need to focus on your future. He's playing mind games. What a cowardly thing to do to you and at exam time also. Disgusting. Cowardly to break up with someone you're not happy with? That doesn't make sense. He wrote it on June 3rd and is just telling her now. Right before an important exam. That is selfish and rude. You don't blindside the person you love. You're right. Wow. Good riddance. This is the most cowardly breakup I've ever seen. And him acknowledging it doesn't make it better. I can't believe he even wrote down that he's been pretending everything is okay because he just couldn't bear to talk to you face to face. Just. It may not feel like it right now. But you're better off without him. If he can't even gather the courage to talk to you about this at all. Or at the very least start giving hints that he isn't happy instead of purposefully faking bliss. Then this relationship was doomed to fail. Communication is the most important thing in a healthy relationship. And clearly he isn't capable of that. It's okay to cry. And feel confused. And mourn the loss of a relationship. It's all part of healing. But I know for certain you'll be better off without him in the long run. He's shown you his true self. And that true self is a weak coward. delete his number and start to move on. He's right about one thing though. You deserve someone better.